Welcome back. Today we have another great guest. We have Julius Williams. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure to be here.
So I know you played in the NFL. Give me a little background about your history with football.
Yeah, I started playing football at age 8 with the University of Connecticut, and I went undrafted, to the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2009. From there, I played there in 2009 and 2010, and then I went on and played in a Canadian Football League, and I retired in 2015.
So I know that you are now helping younger players kind of learn and understand and really get better. Tell me about kind of what you're doing right now.
I didn't have a typical, retirement. I retired due to lots of injuries and, things that I really couldn't get together health-wise. And my mom also had an aneurysm, a brain aneurysm. So that was really the main reason I decided to go ahead and come home. And once I got home, I just thought there was, so much need, in the community for, positive role models, positive energy, period, and I began to get with a couple of buddies of mine that, some were still playing in the NFL, some were done and, never going to play in the NFL again. So we all came together collectively. One of the first things we did was put together a free camp for kids in urban neighborhoods that couldn't afford to go to Nike camps and, Adidas camps and football universities and things of that sort. It was a huge hit, and we had about 100 kids come out. Our first camp, maybe about 20 NFL guys, and from there, we're still standing. So we've done, all sorts of things over the years, camps, clinics, seminars. We have 3 after-school mentoring programs, a youth football team, and lots of other good stuff that we do.
That's great. So I know you've been injured a couple times in your career. So give me a little perspective on what it's like to overcome that, physically and emotionally.
I tell people all the time, I just did an interview yesterday, as a matter of fact, with another radio station, and I told them that I was injured. I tore my ACL twice before I even played at college down, really. So I tore my ACL as a junior in high school, the second game of my junior season, after having a promising sophomore campaign as a high school sophomore and coming back ready to have a monster junior campaign, and ended up tearing my ACL and missing the rest of the season, coming back playing as a senior and playing well, getting a scholarship just to come back, that very, very next year and tear my ACL again, in the same leg. So it was definitely devastating, to say the least, but it was really all about mindset. I just kind of knew what I wanted to do, know where I wanted to go, know who I wanted to be and what I wanted to be, and put that in the forefront of my mind rather than listen to all the naysayers saying, people said all sorts of things, man. Hey, man, when guys blow their knee out, man, that's it, I'm not sure if you should continue to play football, all that bad knee. You're going to make it worse for when you're older. You're not going to be able to play with your kids and, all of these great things. And I just, it was a sacrifice that I was willing to make and keep in the forefront of my mind to, go and play professional football. For me, it was it wasn't the only reason why I went to college, but for the most part, that's what when I chose my school and going to play football, that was what I wanted to do, go get an education and go play in the NFL. So it was one thing that I, kept at the forefront of my mind and had a lot of determination and a lot of hard work and was able to get it done.
Sounds like you really had a good head on your shoulders. So what would you tell a younger player that is going through these injuries? How do you keep them on track, and how do you keep them to stay focused?
Yeah, man, understanding that, every day is not perfect. And things are going to happen. We play a very, very violent and rough sport, but it's also very fun, when you're excelling and when you're doing the right things and when you're, playing well. So when you get hurt, just look at it as a stepping stone, something that happens, a mishap. Most injuries you can recover from and get healthy. And it's really all about your mindset, For me, when I got hurt in college, it was more so, I'm going to get back. I'm ready. I'm going to do whatever it takes, to get back on the field. And it's just their mindset. And I was able to come back and actually run a faster 40, after 2 ACLs, I jumped a higher vertical jump, after tearing the ACL, and did some great things and was able to lead my team in sacks, my first year back completely healthy and do some great things. So, it's really all about, what you put your mind to, because I've seen tons of guys have the same injuries and, not go as hard because their minds were not in the right place and never were ultimately able to come back and play.
Yeah, so it sounds like, staying focused, staying positive is very important. What kind of team did you have around you that kind of helped, motivate you and helped keep you positive?
Every team I played on, man, I always was like a fire guy. You know what I mean by that? Like, I was a guy that played very rough, very passionate. I was always, like, even if I wasn't a captain, I always considered myself a leader, on every football team that I was on, just for my style of play and the things that I was willing to do, to sacrifice my body, for my teammates. So when I did get hurt, guys were very supportive. Guys definitely, came to my back and let me know how much, they were counting on me and needed me to get back healthy, and that definitely, lit an extra fire and, it made me want to push even harder, just knowing the guys were counting on me and they were letting me know it and telling me they couldn't wait for me to get back. And some guys even aided me in my rehab.
And in the role of, so I'm a financial advisor. In the role of a financial advisor, with our clients, we strategize with them to kind of help foresee these things happening. So, you set aside a certain amount of money so that way, if you do get injured, if you do have to retire from the NFL, that you have a nice amount of money that you're either able to start a business, start training camps like you did. You're doing a lot of great things with the community, and having money saved up from your playing years really allows you to kind of fulfill those dreams.
For sure. And then you're exactly right, man. Like, I was able to, when I first started our foundation, I was spending money, so we weren't having any money. We didn't have any donors or grants or things to get started. So, if the money was, a huge issue, we could have never, got those things done. So, just being able to be smart and not spend as much money. Like, I didn't have your Pro Bowl football career and make millions on millions of dollars. But I did make some good money as a 7-year professional, and were able to, save and not, and be able to be, comfortable and walk away from the game and not have to, have stress and go and just get a regular job, right away, like a lot of guys do who don't take care of their money.
Yeah, I see that all the time with, during the playing years, you think this is going to last forever and you just keep spending and spending and spending, and all of a sudden the music stops and you're not prepared to make that jump back into the real world. So it sounds like you did a really good job of saving during your playing years and are able to live a comfortable life and do the things that you want to do now.
Right. And then it's all about learning as well, man, because a lot of guys don't leave in great shape. And, some guys, I knew guys who had left the league with $0, and that's hard to believe from guys who have played, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. There are guys who leave in debt, with negative money, So it's all about being smart, man. And after, leaving the game, just, getting education and talking to guys like yourself on making good investments and ways to make your money grow even more. So even if you lose money and don't leave in good shape, there's always a way to, climb back up and get back in good shape.
Definitely. And that's kind of what we do as advisors. We help you plan for the future. And, that's what I'm big on is paying your future first and planning for that second act, that second career you're going to have, because if you're not planning for the future, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right. Exactly, man. And, it takes a community, man, and other guys. Like I was speaking to a couple guys that I played with, and just telling these guys about different things that's going on in the stock market, and just being able to spread the information and being able to help guys out, is definitely a blessing.
Definitely. The education piece is extremely crucial, and just kind of being aware of how to, like you were saying, make your money work for you while you're not working for it. That's the key to success. That's how the rich become even richer is, they invest and they make smart decisions with their money. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I think that the younger players could really find this insightful in terms of getting an injury and overcoming that and bouncing back, and just the kind of mindset that you had that kept you going through all the years and playing through the different injuries you had. So I really appreciate your time, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. And, that we were able to connect, man, and, have a great interview. Thank you.